Hey y'all, happy
Hey
Sunday.
guys, welcome. This is our first video of the new year. Welcome to 2024.
Yes, happy New Year. How was
Yeah,
your New
everybody.
Year? What did you do? What did you do?
That was real boring this year. I didn't feel like going nowhere. I just stayed
I
home.
slept through the whole thing. I didn't even know it was New Year's, child.
I was not feeling it. It was cold, and I wasn't trying to be out in the streets. I was actually good, and I enjoyed it. Sometimes you just gotta have time to yourself.
I thought I
But
was
it's
gonna stay up because the past 3 years I slept straight through. And I was like, I got up, so I was like 9:58. I was up. I was like, I'm watching TV, but I wasn't, doing too much, but at least I'm gonna stay up
mhm.
past 12 a.m. I'm telling you, the gunshots woke me up. I was like, what's going on?
Really,
I
they
didn't even know
didn't.
where I was at.
For
I
me,
did
they
not know
popped a
where I
little
was at.
bit, but not as much as they usually do. Like for Fourth of July, they didn't pop as many.
Well, they
Thank y'all
popped it
for
off over here
joining
because they
us.
woke me up. I was mad. Like, where am I? I forgot it was New Year's. I didn't know where I was at. I woke up like, what's going on? Like, and
Yeah,
I'm like,
just as long as y'all don't
what's
shoot
going on?
me, I'm good. Hey, Ray Ray.
Hey, Ray. Hey,
Oh,
Cleo. Hey, Shar. Hey, Yvette. Oh,
thank y'all
that's
for
hey,
joining us,
Vintage.
and thank y'all for keeping up with us. Y'all making sure sending us messages. We appreciate it, you guys.
Yes.
Sending us messages, letting us know you're thinking about us. Um, when life gets to life, and we appreciate those messages from you guys. Just to know we have y'all support. It really means a lot for both of us.
Yes, I love my people. Bobby, I keep, I be seeing them in, the other chats. I keep an eye on them.
You
Like, yeah.
do. So y'all know why we are here. We are here because of really we have one big topic, which we have a lot of subtopics under that. Um, y'all already know what it is. The cat interview on the
Hey,
Shay
Robin.
Sharp. So what's it called? Shay Shay?
Club Shay Shay. Club
Love
Shay
Shay
Shay.
Shay, which the name is horrible. Um, and we're gonna get into that in a minute. Hey, Robin. So first off, what you saw the whole interview, right?
Yeah, I watched the whole thing. It was two
That thing was
hours.
too
I think it was 2 hours
damn
and
long.
38 minutes, maybe. It was long.
It should have been about an hour and a half tops. You
Yeah.
the thing about it is Shannon Sharp does not know how to properly conduct an interview or to even hold a conversation because a lot of stuff that Cat Williams was saying, he was kind of shading Shannon a little bit, and it was like
Oh,
to me
very much.
going
No, it
over.
wasn't a little bit. It was very much so.
It was
He
like
shaded him straight off the
he
gate.
said he shaded him several times. Like it was multiple times where he shaded Shannon, and he was just laughing like good, 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 good.
Yeah.
I'm like,
What you take at?
he's talking about you.
What did that? I'm like, what did they get? And I'm like, but but no, he shaded him off the ripper when they first opened with the drinks. When he was like, "Oh, we gonna, I'm gonna have to take your drink." He was like, "But you done drunk more than me."
He said
From
more
the
than you.
yeah, like
He
she shaded him
did.
from the beginning. So I had to glance down at them bottles, child, because at least Club Shay Shay is club expensive because he gives everybody their own bottle. So I saw Shay Shay bottles looking,
The
a
bottle looks
little.
good, and I think this was a good opportunity for you to promote your alcohol, which I didn't know he had a alcohol brand out, a cognac. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it looked like it was good because it was getting Cat to talking. It was definitely
And
getting
he
him to
only had a
talk.
few sips. Like he said, he didn't drink that much. You saw his bottle. He was going in, and he was still drinking like his first glass.
But he wasn't gonna let nobody play with him, and that's what Shannon needs to realize. A lot of people tuned in. Last time I looked at his numbers, he was at 24 million, and I know that's more than what he's ever done on his little podcast.
Well, this was a controversial interview because Cat Williams was waiting a long time to say what he had to say. He had all the receipt, he had the stuff in his back pocket. Like he was a man with a plan and a
And
list.
he let it out. And Shannon Sharp has been getting a little bit of the backlash because a lot of people are saying that Shannon didn't ask any follow up questions. He didn't ask the right questions. If he asked Cat Williams a question and Cat Williams didn't want to answer it, he'll go into start talking about other stuff, and Shannon never brought him back. those those are the things that people are looking for in an interview. We don't want a long drawn out conversation, even though that's your theme of your show. It just like our show, we still have to stay on
Yeah, get
topic.
to the
Sometimes
topic.
it's 30 million now. Okay, so it's growing. It's becoming real popular. So by it being really popular, this particular show, I think he needs to be a little bit more graceful and take this criticism that he's receiving because the people not lying. Because people are saying that he's not the best interviewer, and Shannon Sharp got on social media defending himself, saying, "Well, I'm not a journalist, and if you want a real journalist, you need to go over there. You need to go over there." That's not how you handle it. I feel like if you are getting the crowd over to you and they're telling you this is what you need to do to be better, why not take some accountability and say, I'll work on that and we'll do better next time.
Yeah, because all he had to say was like, look, well, guys, I'm not a journalist. My talk show is more of a relaxed style, a conversational style podcast, but I've taken your critiques into consideration. And so next time going forward, I will be taking your advice and probably try to step up my journalistic skills. That would have been the proper and conductive answer. But, he going to be like, no, I think I'm not a journalist. But what do you want me to do? That's what he gonna say.
Investment brand. Let me pull it up.
Hey,
because
twin.
he was looking every bit of slow and special needs. Be appreciative that Katt Williams came to your podcast and really blew it up.
Yeah, because you done had several interviews. They're going back with his interviews with Cedric the Entertainer. He had an interview with Ricky Smiley. And the interviews didn't do nearly these amount of numbers. Nearly.
Oh, and that's another thing that Shannon said. He was like, "Well, y'all didn't say nothing when I interviewed Steve Harvey. Y'all didn't say nothing when
Steve Harvey was boring."
Because I don't think we watched it.
No,
clearly, everybody did not watch those podcasts. Just be a little bit humble yourself down, and be appreciative that you got these numbers because it's blowing him up. Hey, Princess. Thanks for joining us.
Hey.
So who did he go in on first? I think it was Kevin Hart. Did he go in on Kevin Hart first?
He did. Kevin took a lot of bulk of the brunt. He basically said that Kevin Hart was not funny. Kevin Hart really didn't put anyone on except for, boring Tiffany. And that the only reason, like, basically he put Tiffany on because she's boring. You know what I'm saying? So and Kevin seems like a real bitter little man. Like, and he brought up the fact that Kevin had said that he was on drugs and that Kevin had mentioned that the studios was losing money due to his alleged drug addiction, and that he wouldn't show up to events that the studios was having to promote certain things, so he lost his spot. But he was saying, like, you could check my IBMD, like, none of this, and am I getting the lettering right? But he said none of this is true. He's mad basically because he had to put on a dress. He said he wasn't going to put on the dress, but he put the dress on, and ever since he put on the dress, he's been a mess. So
I think what Katt was saying is he had certain standards for himself in the industry, and he had certain things that he did not want to do and that nobody was going to make him do, no matter how much money you were throwing at him, because it is a thing in Black comedy where they make you put on a dress and play a female character to be on. Like every major comedian in today's time has put on a dress. Martin Lawrence, Ricky Smiley, Tyler Perry, it's so many others. Jamie Foxx. A lot of them have to go through this. Do you think it's a humiliation ritual, or so he'll get to where he needs to be, or do you? What is it? Why do they feel like they have to do this?
I do think it's somewhat of a humiliation ritual. In my opinion, I think that they want to see how far you would go for fame. Like, what would this person do? Like, does this person have morals? Because a lot of times it's a lot of testing, it's baiting and testing. Because they'll go as far as you allow them. Like, if someone's going to push you, like, what's next? Who's doing the bending? You know what I'm saying? Like, if I could get you to put on a dress and get you to parade around as a woman, which is a lot of times demeaning, and a lot of times a black male, like the black male ego is
Yeah,
very
they have to
fragile. You
emasculate
know,
you.
to be emasculated, to put on a dress. You know, that's one thing. A black, oh, don't say that their penis is small and they act like a woman. They will get mad. You know what I'm saying? Black men will be enraged over those things. And to say that for them to perform like this, I do think is some sort of humiliation. Like, how far would this person go? We see that this person is desperate. They're going to put on a dress, so we can bring them in other things, like and open and be the opening gateway to other things. I believe.
Speaking of that, I wanted to show this picture, and it's like a compilation of all the comedians that have to have
But they
that.
forgot to put Dave Chappelle up there because Dave Chappelle put on a dress too.
Did he did?
Yes.
I don't remember that.
I'll send it to
What
you.
did he put on the dress?
I think I sent it to you, but I'll send it to you
Well,
again.
this is the picture that I have of all of these people. I don't know if y'all can see them. There's some of these people I forgot about. Eddie Murphy, the Wayans brothers, all the Wayans, Keenan and Kel, with Joanna Man, Chris Rock, Cedric the Entertainer. It's Wesley Snipes, Will Smith.
I'm sending you right now the what with Dave Chappelle. It was early in his career, and I believe he's
I
sitting
never
down
seen
with
Dave Chappelle in a dress.
yes,
I don't think he's even on this picture. Hold
he's
on, I
not,
don't
but
see
he
that.
was in a dress. I just sent you the I don't know if you could probably pull it up.
Let me see. When was this? Let me see. I didn't get it yet. Did you send it to me?
Yeah, I sent it directly to you.
Okay. Well, I don't see it yet. Okay. Oh wow. I forgot about this. This was early in his career. I remember this is when he was just starting to come out.
Hey, hey, Carol.
Yeah, yeah. That's
So the
well.
dress was.
It's I think it's kind of like butt breaking. They gotta
I
humiliate
think it's
you.
a
You want to be
crossover. I think
hit.
it's an opening doorway. Like they say, that doorway that's cracked, they're gonna see if you're gonna push through. Like, are you gonna put on the dress? And even when he was discussing, well, we probably get to that a little later with the Friday piece about emasculating black men and the role, about the grape scene.
Yeah, and so Cat Williams was talking a lot about Friday, the movie that he participated in. I think it was his first movie, right?
I believe so.
And he was saying that they wanted to add a rape scene the R scene in the bathroom, at the party where Terry Crews is trying to get at him, and
Hmm.
he got that he really discussed it with the writers and said that I don't think this is going to be necessary for a comedy, and I can agree with that. To
It's
me, that's
not
a little bit too
funny.
much.
Like, what's funny about a male, or for anyone for that matter, being raped?
That's
That's
a little
crazy.
bit too much.
Yeah, and
And
especially for comedy, and if y'all being that it was a sequel to Friday, which is a cult classic, we're expecting the same, we're expecting like the same type of thing from the first movie. Like, we want to laugh. We don't want to sit there and think about a man being raped in the bathroom. Like why would you even put that in Friday? Like,
part of it was, and this is leading into our next person, but a lot of people came on Shannon Sharp's show prior and said a lot of things that Cat Williams felt like he needed to clarify. One of them being Ricky Smiley going on there saying um, that he was supposed to play the pimp first, and then they gave it to Cat and they switched the roles up. So Katt came out and reminded y'all that no, that man is not funny. Um, he put it in his contract that he wanted him to wear a dress because he feels like he's better in those type of roles, and that's the
That
only
was
time.
just the wildest thing to me that he put in his contract. Whenever he works with Ricky Smiley must be wearing a dress. He will not work on a film project, feature film, short film, movie, series if Ricky Smiley is not wearing a dress. He said that him and Tyler Perry play women better than they play men, and they need to be in the roles that they're best suited for, which is playing women. I mean, the disrespect was just all over the place. Like,
The disrespect was real, and it was true. I mean, his stand up is. I mean, I remember he did a few stand up comedy shows back in the day, but they never was really funny to me. Even his radio show, like I was telling you backstage, I liked it for the other characters, Miss Juicy, Gary with the T, the Brad, Rock T.
yeah, it
The
was the
other people
collective
on the
that
show
made the
made it
show.
what it was, not necessarily Ricky Smiley. But he's been able to hold on to his radio show for quite some time, and it's been doing pretty well. He said his children was toe up by the comments that was made um, during the
That ain't the
interview.
first time these damn kids done heard that. Bernice, Bernice,
He
what?
said the kids was toe up about it, and they was really upset. And I think it was today he got on social media crying.
That just sends me, because like you were saying earlier that you don't like people to get on social. I don't like that either.
I,
That's like,
I don't like it. I think
I don't
if you
either.
set up a camera and point it to yourself and press play and record yourself crying,
Or you're going to cry, or if it's an emotional time, I'm not going to be on camera if I feel that it's going to be emotional or something like that, because I can see if you just get overwhelmed. If you're talking about a subject and sometimes you get overwhelmed and your emotions take over and you cry because the natural feelings come out. But
mhm,
I'm not going to intentionally set up a tripod. Like,
and
I'm not going
fix
to set up a tripod to cry. Like, I hate that, and I hate when people do the hospital band, when they take a picture of the hospital band, and then they leave you in red. You be like, what happened? They won't say nothing.
yeah.
And I'm like, damn you and your illness. Like,
Ricky, they say he gave a classy response to it, but I just feel like what else you gonna say? He ate you up. What he said was the truth. And you have been playing a lot of women roles in the past, and you haven't really done anything else. Yes, Princess, he is a better radio commentator than anything else. But I just don't agree with you getting on here crying and talk about your kids is hurt.
yeah, like, instead of you making coffee, like, and you crying, like, stop.
I
So,
get it. His son, this is the anniversary of his son's passing, and I get that. But at the same time, you recorded yourself crying. It's for me. You trying to back the people up off of you because they've been clowning you for the past few days off this interview, and you want to back the people off of you and you had them have sympathy for you. And I don't like the manipulation tactics. I don't
and it
like it.
is, but and a lot of times, like what Cat Williams has said, that's the Ricky Smiley now. The Ricky Smiley that he dealt with was arrogance. It wasn't like that. And like you said, he came with the subtle approach, like, well, forgive, and forget, and we shouldn't be going back and forth with each other, blah, 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 blah. Because you knew what this man was saying most likely was true. And you wanted the people not to respond over why you lied. Why did you get on Club Shay Shay and lie, but say, oh, he's taking the high road. Go to hell. Now go,
I think
don't
he
take the
just
highway to heaven.
he realized who he was dealing with, and you don't want a verbal match with Cat Williams. You really don't.
You don't, because he coming
Wanda
after
from
you.
B103 knows that verbatim. She knows that you don't want a verbal match with him.
How after he done read that other radio host, that lady with her short hair, and he done read her down to the ground. I'm like, enough.
He said he did that because she agreed backstage not to talk about certain things, and when they got on the live, that she tried to throw him under the bus. I
Yeah,
do get.
I know. Cat is a man after my own heart. Because don't play with me, because I will eat you alive. I will
Do
eat,
you
like,
hear
I'm very
echoes?
nice. Don't play. Don't play because I'll hurt your feelings. I hurt you and your mama's feelings. Don't play with me. And I'll dig your grandmother up too.
Y'all let me know if y'all hear echo in the comments because I heard a little bit of something. Let's get into who else we need to talk about. Let's talk about Cedric the Entertainer because he did say that he wanted to bust him in the stomach and accused Cedric the Entertainer of stealing jokes. And let's, because they actually social media was doing a lot of digging and they pulled up the
They got the
clips.
receipts.
They have the receipts of Cedric the Entertainer using the same jokes as Ricky Smiley. Also, Steve Harvey. He accused Steve Harvey of stealing jokes as well.
They says yeah, but he wasn't stealing from him. He said Steve Harvey was stealing from everybody else. But Steve Harvey was stealing from actually hanging with Mr. Cooper, Mr. Mark Curry. He's saying that a lot of, and now and now that a lot of things, because I watched Hanging with Mr. Cooper. I remember when Mark Curry was doing stand up and stuff like that, and he did kind of like, now that Katt had said that, and now that I recollect back, the suits, the being the principal, working in the school, as far as like the Steve Harvey show, the Hanging with Mr. Cooper, it did have an immense amount of similarities, and it's some undeniable similarities. And you're looking at Steve and his fake flat top, like, Steve, you're not already to be trusted from the here. We did not know that was a munit. That's a man unit. It's called the munit. We did not know.
It was a good unit. I thought it was real. I
did too. He's living a lie.
That was a good unit. He should have been on Tyler Perry set because the stuff that he had, the men with the units, I will never forget the shawarma braid.
Yes, you didn't see none of his lace at all. And then Steve was shaping his shit. That's what was crazy to me, because like one day he'd have like the wide flat top, and the next day he trimmed his shit down, and the other time he had like the blowout. Like
is because he kept cutting it in, and then maybe he would add another piece to it.
Yeah, like reshaping it, and he had taken here where you thought it grew, you thought it got cut. He was just fooling everybody. Like, Steve, I trust nothing you and your wife have to say, nothing.
But stealing jokes used to happen a lot. It used to happen a lot, but it wasn't as much talked about. Like they would handle it themselves, or because the guy who plays Hanging with Mr. Cooper, I forget his name.
Mark Curry.
I heard his interview where he was talking about it, and he said most of all he was just like hurt that a fellow comedian would just use his set verbatim.
Yeah.
And
they were, especially back then. It wasn't like the internet back then. The footage was like rare and far. And if you go into these comic sets, they're in these little sets, and a lot of times the up and coming comics are doing like these hole in the wall shows, because that's what I like to do. Like I like to go to comedy shows. I'll go to comedy shows, and even when I'm in the comedy shows, I see other comedians. I was just at Mike, like I said, the Mike Epps ones that he's saying that he's going to come out. That's going to be the Netflix. I was at that taping. And
was he funny?
And that he's funny. He's really funny, and he's funny. He's like the crowd, like, and I think in the opening acts, if they go through, they should have put the opening acts on, because the opening acts was hilarious. But it was a lot of comedians that was in that audience that come to see them, that come sit down. And I think Tommy Davidson was there. It was a lot of comedians there. They sit there and they watch each other, and they take each other's jokes, and they probably add and twist and take it off. Because even with Cedric took Katt Williams' joke that he used on the BET I think it was on the Comic View, the BET Comic View. But what he did was turned it into a spaceship. It was basically,
he just changed it a little bit. It's not plagiarism when you change it a little bit. It was the
same premise of the joke, but he switched it up a little. And if you don't know, not unless that's your joke, like he said that Mark Curry helped him perfect that joke. So him and Mark know that joke was stolen, and that's messed up. But Cedric didn't deny it, but no one came out and said that you're a flat out liar. That's what I was expecting.
Nobody said that. Kevin Hart was saying that he was broke and he's a hater. Faizon Love came out. Let's put this down for a second. Faizon Love, somebody who hasn't been relevant in 15, 20 years.
Big perm.
25.
Big perm, big worm, big perm. He should have just shut up. He shouldn't have said
He
nothing
hasn't
because
been
nothing.
relevant in I don't
There
know
was a
how
lie. But what
long.
did Katt say about him that wasn't a lie? You have no comedy specials. You
You
have
don't.
not like you don't. So what
You
did
don't.
he say that was a
Well,
lie? I could
he's
see if he
not.
came out and was lying on you, but he's not lying.
He's not lying on you. You might not like what he said. I
Because you
think that's
can't
what it
handle
is.
the
They don't like what
truth.
he said, but it was the truth. Trick Daddy, inserting yourself into the
Leatherface. Now
situation.
he needs to just go sit down. If he's not going
But
to
I did
explain to us
see.
how his face got like that, the only thing I want Trick to say is how the hell what happened? Because that ain't all lupus. That ain't all lupus.
Well, I think
All
he
right.
needs to have a bowel movement, and that's what
He
Cat
looked
Williams.
like he done had a bowel movement on his face. That's what it looked like.
Cat Williams said in a stand-up years ago that Trick Daddy looks like a bowel movement, and I think that Trick just took this time to come back and try to get back at him and say something. It really had nothing to do with you, and they was clowning you in the comments. Um, who
Like
else?
you didn't get enough from Beyonce. You did not get enough, Trick.
I don't know what else to say about Trick Daddy, but it's a lot of people that was trying to attach themselves, clout chasing, if you will, to this because it blew up overnight. And somebody in the comments said that the video got 30 million views.
Yeah.
But this is what Katt was saying about Cedric the Entertainer. Hold on.
Said it don't line up. How it don't line up that I did it on TV in 2018? You came to see me at the Comedy Store do it in 2019, and then did it on the Kings of Comedy. Like, what doesn't line up? This is a televised joke that Mark Curry helped me punch up and get to.
I just want to correct something real quick because you may not have the full interview.
The same
He did go
Steve
back
that
and
worked
correct the date. He
Curry.
said the date was he did it in 2006, I
Huh?
believe. And I said he did go back and correct the dates because he made a mistake here and said
Yeah.
2018 and 2019, but it was 2008, I believe, in 2009. But he did go back and correct the dates because I don't know if you have that full clip. So I just wanted to make a note of that.
Yeah, he did go back and correct the dates, but keep in mind that they've been drinking. So keep that in mind
Yeah.
as well.
And then stole
Yeah, I just want to make sure
everything
he
Mark
did
Curry
correct those
had.
dates.
Now Steve got a sitcom where he the principal and he wear a suit and then he gets this high top fade, making all black men think he got the best lineup in the business, and it's a man unit. Then you ask, why you not a movie star? I didn't want to be a movie star. This the same Negro that hated on Bernie with this same thing. I didn't want to be a movie star. No, you couldn't be a movie star. Thing. Cedric
That was one of the instances where he was going in on them. Let me see if I can.
told you when you asked him, did you still star? There are 30
When they had side by side
writing jokes.
the actual
Are hundreds of witnesses.
the actual footage of them taking his stuff. Oh, that's T.I.'s alleged toe that was assaulting a woman, allegedly.
This damn athlete's footed.
we were
Where there is a toe, there is athlete's foot. Like now,
that's the alleged toe, but we're gonna say that timing for another time.
he gonna just put it out there like that.
The stuff that I have in my archive. Who else did he get into? Michael Blackson and this fake African accent that he's been doing for the past 20 years.
I thought everybody knew that was fake.
Some people don't. Some people don't. If you've never been around African people, you might not know that that's just a fake
No,
stereotype.
because some of them do sound like that. But I just always assumed that he was putting, 10 on 20. I always assumed that he was just doing something extra. You motherfucker, you do. I just always thought it was extra because he sounds real fake to me. It sounds extra fake.
But I saw a clip of, I forgot Katt Williams was on Wild 'N Out, but he was on Wild 'N Out when it first came out. And I remember that's when it was really good. And if you go back and look at those old Wild 'N Out episodes, Katt Williams never did like Michael Blackson. he was eating him up on that
all the
stage.
time, every chance he got.
And he also talked about how he wanted to help Nate Cannon because he knew him as a young actor in Hollywood. And I think that's also nice. We also know that he paid for
Melba Moore.
Melba Moore's star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And I think that's, that's admirable to do stuff and not expect nothing.
And a lot, because it's a lot of people coming out saying that Katt has done a lot of things from him. Even Boosie said that Katt had gave him, when he came out of jail or prison, one or the other, that he had gave him 15 G's. 15
Yeah.
G's, Steve. But he had gave him 15 G's, and also, even his ex-girlfriend, Hazel E. She came out and she didn't have anything really bad to say about him. She just said that, he's highly intelligent, he's really smart, he has one of the highest IQs ever, and that he's basically he's an idea man. Like, he's smarter than he is. Like, and I think that's what he was equating to when he said that he's much bigger in person. He said, I'm much bigger than you think I am. I'm bigger in person. Like, it's not all jokes and he, that he's a very intelligent man. And I did see that from this interview.
And this is part of the issue I have with Shannon Sharp. He asked no follow-up questions. Katt Williams was alluding to a lot of things. I think he was alluding to himself being polyamorous, but Shannon never really dug into that and asked him any follow-up questions. Like you said, he said that he only has women staff members and they habitat together, but he didn't really go into detail on that part. He didn't really talk about Hazel E.
Yeah, it seems like he was kind of scared to touch the subject, because even with the subject of Katt's childhood,
he stayed on that childhood too long, honestly.
That childhood was given, was given a lot. But we don't know. I don't know if it's true or not. But if it is true, I feel really bad for him to have to leave his home. Like he said, he wasn't put out of his home. He left because him and his father was getting into, back and forth, and as two men getting into arguments and battles back and forth.
At 13.
I'm saying, but it's like a male. I'm arguing with my father, which my father is the man of the house. And if I'm ready to fight, you know what they say, when you're ready to jump up in somebody's face, you think you're a man. You think you think you're a man now. Now you could go out in the streets and find your way. Since you ready to base up in my face, you can find your way. So if things did happen like that, that's sad for him to be out there on the streets and by himself. But he also brought up the fact of him having a stint in the pimperization. He alluded to it. He didn't really say that.
To it, but
I think Shay really dug a little deeper into it and found out. I think he missed the mark on that, because I would like to know a little bit more about that background, like what was really going on with that. And also about when he had said that the package deal for a lot of these celebs when they get into the order is a light-skinned woman. So you were with Hazel E. Was that your prepackaged deal?
Well, he didn't keep it. He was kind of getting there for a while. But Katt didn't want to answer those questions, and Shannon just moved on to his next cue card. But he has like 10 kids. Katt Williams has like 10 kids, I believe.
Yeah, I believe it's a lot of them, but I think all of them are not his.
How many baby mothers is it?
He didn't ask it, and I don't think
all saying, like these, we just need more details. How many baby mothers do all of y'all?
From my previous knowledge, I believe that all the kids are not his. I believe he got probably about 5 ones that's adopted. Like,
okay, who did you adopt them kids with?
Yeah, like who kids are they? Are you just running a haven? Like, are you because they say he's very charitable, so maybe he's taking in children.
And part of his childhood story, number one, I think they stayed on that childhood part too long. But the part where he was getting accepted to college at 6 and reading 3,000 books a day or a year, or however he said it, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it just seems like he was kind of putting 20 on 10 on those parts.
He probably was exaggerating. It did seem like a little exaggeration. But
even if you are the smartest kid in the universe, college at 6, it's still not age appropriate. You can still be smart, but still not be age appropriate for certain things. I mean, I know people skip grades, and I know people. I never know people to skip a whole.
You like he skipped life. You like he even
Like you skip the elementary,
he
middle,
skipped
high,
life.
and straight to college. I mean, I never know people to skip that many grades at one time. I know you can skip like
You went from building blocks, so
you
biophysics,
went from you went from what's the
sandbox.
Coco Lemon to college. I mean, it's not to me that part was over exaggerated. But I mean, I don't know. I wasn't there, but it just seemed like he was putting on. And then the part where he was homeless, I know that's an interesting part, but he was stealing car radios and stuff, and I guess allegedly doing stuff with these women that he met. We don't know exactly what was going on.
The way he just said that he met some women that wanted to take care of him.
And that's all we know. I think Shannon was scared to ask any follow-up questions, really.
Hey, running that mouth. Hey, Simone.
Hey, running that mouth. And yes, Shar, other celebrities do charitable work as well. I'm not saying Katt Williams is the only one. That's just who we talking about.
Tyler Perry paid for Cicely Tyson.
And Tyler Perry does a lot for Black actors. Taraji said that he was one of the ones that paid her appropriately, that paid her worth. That's what
right.
I mean, that back then.
People have to understand that people just think things are one way. It's not one way, because just because Tyler Perry is allegedly, maybe, could be, possibly being accused of something doesn't take away his charitable work, because two things can exist at the same time. Because you have people that do good all the time to cover up for their bad. They live in balance. Like a lot of times that's a thing like Buddha, like people that study Buddhism, they believe in balance in the earth. Like say if they go stab somebody, they'll probably stab somebody in the throat today, but donate $1,000 tomorrow. Like that would just cover for the stabberization that I just did. I'll still get into heaven. I gave somebody $1,000.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of celebrities do a lot of
and he's always been charitable. Like Tyler Perry has been one of the ones that's been noted as always doing. So you saw what he did for the for what's the one that thinks she's the princess. Well, she's not a princess. They got excommunicated from the Prince Harry and Meghan Markle.
You talking about Meghan Markle?
Yes, Tyler Perry gave them a place to stay, rented out the private plane.
Wasn't it Oprah?
No, it was Tyler.
Oh, okay.
I think Oprah probably did a little something too, but I think Tyler Perry did a lot. And he's always the ones that's coming to like a lot of these celebrities. As soon as they mention something, even with Elvin, Elvin from the Cosby Show, Sandra's husband. Elvin had lost his job. Elvin wasn't a doctor no more, and he lost his job from
Elvin was working in the grocery store. Yeah, Elvin was working in the grocery store, and he put him in
the haves and have-nots.
Okay, he put him in something else.
He was in the haves and have-nots. He definitely was in the haves and have-nots because I saw him there. Because I was like, Elvin, and he was in something else, but he was in some commercials. It started picking up for Elvin after that. They had the wilderness store. Him and Sandra had the wilderness store, and Sandra, lost her job as being a lawyer, and Elvin wasn't a doctor no more. They lost the deed to the wilderness store, so he had to go to Tyler Perry and get a job.
Well, Tyler Perry has put a lot of Black people on, and that doesn't mean that he hasn't done other things, because this Christian Keys thing, I wish Christian would go ahead and say who it is.
I'm tired of Christian at this point.
Like you still kind of going around saying somebody touched me, somebody did this to me. We're in the age of Aquarius. Go ahead and say what you got to say.
But my opinion on that Christian Keys, I do believe that he was talking about Tyler Perry. I do not care. I do believe he was talking about that damn Tyler Perry. But his show is on Tyler's Lot. His show, the kid,
he's still on Tyler's lot. He's still doing Queen's
on
Men.
Tyler's lot. You know what I'm saying, or whatever like that. And he probably, who knows what happened, because it's giving that I let shit slide to get what I want. Not that you was that's what it's giving to me, that I allowed shit to slide. Not saying that Tyler was right or that he did anything wrong, but whatever that you felt that was going on, that you felt that was inappropriate, in my opinion, I think he allowed to let go just to to go along, to get along. Like, you know, when somebody's flirting with you, but they got the funds, or they're your boss and you're going to get a promotion. Like, okay, you know, I know that he's flirting, but at the end of the day, I'm going to get something.
That's what Katt Williams was saying about Diddy. He said that Diddy likes to party and you got to tell Diddy no, because he want to keep his virgin booty hole. So do you believe what he was saying about Diddy, or do you think he was just...
Yeah. I believe it because
everybody's saying the same thing.
Let's just say I believe it because I believe it.
I mean, everybody's saying the same thing about him. Who else did he get into? Oh yeah, let's get into the stand-up that was stolen. Steve Harvey. Let's look at some of the receipts that people was putting out. People was putting out all types of receipts. Also, the Illuminati meeting that allegedly happened, that Katt Williams and Ludacris was invited to the same meeting. So my question would be, did you know it was an Illuminati meeting and you was trying to get in and they said no? How did that, or did you didn't know what it was? And then
he said that, you know, that he got 20, you know, like basically you got everything set up, like with the Fast and Furious and stuff like this and stuff like that. And Luda's response was kind of like, niggas, like, you a rap? A rap? I don't want to hear that. I want to know if you was doing the bending. I want to know if you was at an Illuminati dinner. I don't want to hear you rapping.
Yeah, because Ludacris, if you was able to get into that Fast and Furious money, that's some good money, because they do a movie
have
like
a contract whereas you are guaranteed a certain amount of, like, if this series run 20 times, you're guaranteed at least 10 of those.
Child. And he was in every movie, and they gross a lot of money each movie, and that's a lot of money. That's a lot of guaranteed money. Like, he don't even really rap no more. Really,
he don't. And for you to come out with this rap, because somebody said basically Katt was alluding to you doing the bending, Luda. Did you bend or did you not bend? That's
and
what we
who
want
did you have to bend for the Illuminati contract? No,
how many did you have to bend for? Because that's
or what did you have to give up? You know, it's like I said, keep going back to the Shannon Sharp interview questions. Like, those are the questions I would have asked. Like, Katt Williams, was you trying to get in the Illuminati and they said no?
Yeah, or like, was you rejected? No? Did you not want to go there? Did you find out and break, you know, thing? But he could have, you know, reneged. There's a lot of
Illuminati meeting. Who all was in there? Was there anybody in there that we know that was in the meeting with you? Or who contacted you to get into the Illuminati meeting? How did you know?
But I'm gonna have to reach out to Tokyo Tony, because Tokyo Tony said they
so many questions that
out to her, and I need to know how they reached out to her. I need to know how did it happen? Was it a letter, an email?
Tokyo Tony said she was invited.
She said they reached out to her and they wanted to invite her, promising her all the stuff. And I
Tokyo Tony.
Yes, I'm gonna have to ask, you know, Tokyo. Tokyo, how did it happen?
To do what though?
Who knows? Like,
this is over. The stripper days is over. You really are like a TikTok personality now. You just be on TikTok and Instagram, and we just repost you because you be saying stupid stuff. What else do you do besides bouncing from motel to motel? For what reason? I don't know. I don't know what she's doing in these motels or why she got to keep bouncing. She always.
I think she got an apartment now. I think she got an apartment now. I I think she's settled. She has an apartment. She looked like I've watched like 3 of her videos, and they have been in the same place. So
Well, she been in the same motel because
they had the same background. Usually her background changed.
Motel.
No, the motels be changing. So
the people fighting on the other side of the one time the people was fighting in the other room.
Right.
Went out and tried to help him.
And she went out there, she's banging on that door, but she was super save a hoe. Tony was trying to save a hoe.
So I don't know. I just feel like it was a lot of questions that could have been asked that wasn't. But I think Katt Williams just let it all out. He just let everything hang out. He said
I think he was kind of pissed off. I think he was waiting for this opportunity. He watched, and a lot of times I personally think a lot of celebrities do become blackballed when they don't want to play that game. Because you can look and you can just watch people's journeys. Like if you can like say like even through some of the rappers, like they could be hot for a moment and then something happened and then that plateau goes down. Like, and a lot of people shouldn't, like, even like I would say like Little Kim. I would use her as example. Little Kim should have never been getting her house, taken away, foreclosed on. She's one of them celebrities that should be always able to make money, not even if she's rapping, just because she's Little Kim. She should be able to sell her sunglasses. She should be able to sell a wig. She should be able to sell a wine cooler.
Part of it is her image. She messed up her image, and
with that, she's such a sweet person that we still would buy from Little Kim. Like Little Kim brand alone, like Little Kim could literally look like it. Like she looked like, what's that thing with the circle things on the face? Like she's sitting there looking like Saw. But we still, we still love Little Kim and we still show her love because it's Kim and she's just such a sweet person. Yeah, you rearrange your face and you look crazy, but we still love you. You know what I'm saying? And but you see how that it just detoured. Like it's weird. Like it's just a stunt.
Well, part of it is I feel like she's become. Unfortunately, I feel like she's become a caricature, like almost a joke. As far as
a lot of people are jokes, but they're not broke jokes. That's the difference between being a joke and then being a broke joke. Because there's a lot of people that we look at as characters and they're funny, whatever, but they're still clocking that paper and they're still able to sell things. Like, why don't even with Mary J. Blige, what game are you not playing? Because even as far as like with the Puffy situation, you and Puffy is like this. Nobody ain't asking Mary to speak. Why ain't nobody asking
because Mary don't like to do interviews.
Right, but I'm saying, but nobody is questioning Mary. Y'all scared to question Mary? Y'all scared? Because ain't nobody the same way, but because you always saw Mary on a yacht next to Puffy. You always saw her at one of Puffy right next to Puffy.
They split up and she got off his label.
She was, but she still was partying with him. You still was at the thing. Go through Puffy's the recent pictures that from his parties, the white affairs and stuff like that. She's right there. And she's always been right there, but no one has reached out and be like, oh, Mary, what's going on? Like, I would say, even with her, like, it's like a weird thing. Like, it's just weird. Like, some people are just not where they should, and you expect them to be. Because Mary J. Blige, I don't when I think of Mary, I don't think about wine. You got a wine, girl? I think about boots and sunglasses. Every time I put on my thigh high boots,
she had her season. I think sometimes people's season is longer. It depends. Sometimes people see.
She's one of those ones that could have had longevity. That's what I'm saying. She's Mary J. Blige. If she put a boot line out, she's known for her high boots. She's known for doing the kick. Mary boot lines. People are going to get Mary shades. Mary always had a shades.
I don't think she's downtrodden. She's on Power.
She's on Power. What I'm saying is she should not have been like struggling after paying Kendu. You understand what I'm saying? Like, she was like really
taking a lot of her money though.
She was in a struggle, but it was Mary J. Blige. A lot of people don't want to play the game and they don't get the certain offers and the thing. Because you look at certain people like, why they got this? Why they got this? Why they got this? Or whatever. And because they play that game. And some people don't play the game and they're not where they should be in their careers.
Does she have a wet line? What is a wine line? Yeah.
She has a wine line. That's what I'm saying. But when you think about Mary, I think about cocaine before I think about wine. Does she got a coke line?
I didn't know she had a wine line out. I didn't know.
Right, that's what I'm saying. She got that would be a nice name for the coke lines. but I'm just saying, like,
But I
that's
get
why.
what you're saying though, because but at the same time, if you're an independent artist or an independent comedian, you can make it work without all of the hoopla. Selling your soul to the Illuminati is not the only way to be successful in this world. It's not.
It's not, but some people want
It's not.
that fast recognition. They don't want to do the slow and
It's not.
steady.
It's a lot of
But I
people
think
who
slow and
are
steady
really
wins the
independently.
race. Like,
And if you are a truly talented and a smart person, which I do think Cat Williams is very smart and intelligent. I'm not saying that he's not intelligent. I do think he's very smart and very witty, and his comebacks is so quick. And that's just a part of being a real comedian. And even when he has the opportunity to kind of bash the new people coming up because they're not doing the same thing that they used to do back in the day as far as comedy, he uplifted all of them that was coming up. Just Hilarious and all the other people that he mentioned. I think,
I think he was just upset. I think it was just some things that he wanted to clear up. He had some things on his chest that he wanted to clear up and set the record straight. And
why
I
did
think
she
that's
have
what
a
he
talk
did.
show? Did she have a talk show?
Mary does have a talk show. I think she still does. I think it's on BET or something like that. But she has these things now that's coming up now. But what I'm saying, she's Mary J. Blige. This should have been already like this. She shouldn't have been like late in life getting a show at 50, getting a thing. And this is your thing. Like she should have been
Well, this is
already.
the same thing Taraji was saying about the industry. A lot of times we as black people, we're not going to get paid and not get the same opportunities,
We're
as
not. And a lot of
the
times they do
counterparts.
take the shortcuts. I'm saying some people do take the shortcuts for fame and a lot of times, and we don't know what these people is doing. Like I said, it's a lot of weird stuff going on. And I know for sure some weird stuff going on, but I'm just trying to keep my life, so I ain't gonna say nothing. but it do be weird stuff. It's weird stuff going on. It's a lot of energy harnessing in Hollywood. It's a lot of that. People taking people's talent and stuff like that. Like some people are just vultures. Like even like with Puffy, you see like
Mhm.
out of all the talent that you came across that ran through your fingertips, none of them are really successful. Only the ones that escaped.
Yeah.
Only the ones that
He
escaped.
had a way of demolishing a career like no one else.
And that
Uh,
be energy harvesting. They take other people things and you become bigger by sucking other people's energy. You become more powerful. A lot of people, and it's a lot of stuff that this world that goes on that people would not believe.
but I
But you
believe
better
in the
start
Didi
believing because it's
because
going to start showing yourself. It's showing fast and quick. So you better get over the shockness and get over. And a lot of stuff you was taught are lies, and then you're going to find out real fast what's really happening.
I remember when Diddy had that assistant show where he had people try to be his assistant. He's very
That's where we met
narcissistic.
Laverne Cox at. He's the one who introduced us to Laverne Cox.
Was that her first time being on
That was her
TV?
first time on a show, Laverne
Oh,
Cox.
I remember that show, and even when the way he handled Danity Kane and Day 26, he treated them like, yes, he's their supervisor, but they couldn't have no opinion. Anytime any of the girls spoke up against him, he would shut them down. Or if he really made you mad, if you just really pissed him off and you didn't agree with what he was saying, he kicked you out the group.
The
And
only one that went back and forth for him a lot was that Aubrey O'Day, and you
Aubrey,
saw the tension. She was
he
giving him
kicked
the business,
Aubrey out
and he had to get
first.
rid of her.
He kicked Aubrey out first. Then he kicked out D Woods. And then after that, then he said the rest of them can go. But he kept Dawn. Because Dawn was like, this is where the money resides. And she said, I'm
But
staying.
she's because you saw that she was hungry. She was going to go. She would have been in the
She was
Illuminati.
willing to
Like
do
she
whatever
was,
it took. Rearranged her face, body,
she would
skin
have been in the
color.
Illuminati because some people will do anything to get to where they, and people see that. Like it's just like with like don't be too desperate. Like even like in relationships. Like in
Mhm.
relationships, some people show their thing and they're so desperate to a person. No, like this person is so desperate, I could do anything. Like you're desperate. Like, I don't care. I can have 2 pennies in my pocket. I'm like, oh, because they be like, you act like you holier than thou. I am. And who the fuck is thou? I don't know
And I
that nigga.
think that's what Cat Williams was saying is that he he wasn't willing to do that. And he just had certain standards and morals for himself that he kept throughout his career. And I do applaud him for that. Um, he mentioned his virgin booty hole. I remember when Rockland Dunbar turned 50, he said, I made it this far and I ain't never had to. So it's something going on where people giving it up in the
But
industry.
this is taken from, but nobody wants to believe it or really discuss it. This is something that's been going, it goes on in the fraternities and a lot of the white fraternities. It's called skull and bone. That's what it's called. It's the skull and bone ritual, where they take over 100 bing bing bings up the booty to become a brotherhood. It's a
Over
secret
100.
society. Yeah, it's a certain amount. The more you take, the more powerful you become in the thing, because it's a ritualistic. It's not that they're gay, and they will tell you like we're not gay. It's just a brotherhood. It's because it's like keeper of secrets. Because if I did something that intimate with you or something intimate, you're like my brother now. Now I can tell you certain things, and they help each other out, and like the Freemasons and stuff like that with the rings and flipping, doing hand signs, all them judges and stuff like that. Because I know for sure. Because one of my friends' brothers got arrested. And she's actually black, but the judge was white, and her father is a mason, and the father, he got arrested for some drug charges or whatever like that. And they went to she's like, oh, he's going to be out. My father said the judge, he knows the judge is a part of his organization. What are you talking about, Bob? We were younger than like 14, 15. I really didn't know. And now that I'm older, now that I'm aware, I'm thinking about back to what she said. And I remember going with her today, and he did something real fast, like a sleight of the hand or something, like real fast to the judge. While her brother's charges was dismissed, and he was walking home, and he's like, they're in the same lodge group, like they're in the
believe it. But is there anything else in the interview do you think that we missed during the discussion? It was a lot. It's almost 3 hours long.
Yeah, I think we covered the Steve Harvey, the Kevin Hart. Oh my God, did y'all get into Kevin Hart suing Tasha K, child?
Yeah, I don't know if he has a case.
He's gonna make one. He's gonna make one up because he is little and bitter, and I don't think she's guilty of this. I really don't think she's guilty of this, and I think she knows better than to think. I think that he's just upset that this was his assistant, because regardless of what this young lady said, it's going to have some proximity to the truth, because this person was your assistant. So therefore she could go and say anything and it's going to be believable regardless. And she's the one who broke the contract. I don't think Tasha was obligated to follow up with her NDA. Like, that's her NDA, not mine. Right. If somebody want to tell me their business, that's on them. But as far as he's trying to get her for what is it? They said that she because they even was using the terms of hostage, like the hostage situation.
If anything, you should be suing the assistant, not Tasha K, because
right,
they didn't say those things.
Like the Tasha K, she broke the contract. She broke the NDA. Tasha did, but he's suing her for blackmail, basically saying that she was blackmailing him, saying if you don't pay me a certain amount of money, 2,500,000, I think it was, that $250,000, I'm going to put this interview out. And her
trailer she's not that stupid. I really don't think she's that stupid.
Yeah, I don't think she's that stupid at all. But you have to be just aware of these people with money, and Kevin Hart does have a lot more money than Tasha.
And I think he might be going down next, because
if it ain't true, they can make it true.
Remember a few years ago, he got into a car accident and he unalived a couple people.
Yeah, and crawled away.
They took him off the scene and they planted it on somebody else, and he was able to get away with it. And there was no charges filed against him for that case. Do y'all remember that? They said Kevin was driving in the hills and he was driving fast, unalived his friends. I think they were his friends. They paid off the family. They took Kevin away from the scene before the cops got there.
And put
another guy in that place to take the fall. We haven't heard from the guy who took the fall or the family. We haven't heard nothing. There was no cases, no charges pressed or nothing.
Yeah, and also with the friend that he said that his friend was blackmailing him as well, and that come to find out, they said that that was all lies. The friend stepped up and the friend said that was a lie. He did not blackmail him. That was all, and even his assistant agreed and was like that it wasn't true. Like he seems like he'll do anything to save his little ass.
Yeah, anything to save his endorsements, anything to save his little reputation, anything to sell whatever deals he has with the Illuminati. He's gonna do it. So we about to wrap things up. Do you
I
have
think we pretty
anything
much
else?
covered everything. But it was a great. I think it was a good interview overall because of all the mess, and I think it was more of Cat Williams just setting the record straight. And I think of from the prior interviews that Club Shay Shay that Club Shay Shay did, it was some grievances that he had with it, and I think he just came to correct some things and set the record straight and set the internet ablaze, and he did
He
it.
definitely did that. It was
Mission
definitely
accomplished.
definitely entertaining. It's been very beneficial for Shannon Sharp. His platform has definitely benefited from it. So I'm gonna need him to take some of this criticism that he's receiving and be gracious and just learn from it because we're not coming back. Because the next person we
I
have
just
on
see him just sitting there eating a piece of bacon, but you know the thick cut, the slab bacon. But he just looked like he be tearing up the bacon. Like Shannon looked like he tears up some bacon.
I mean, with he got that wide mouth, so probably do. I mean, all I seen was him chuckling the whole
Yeah.
time and not asking
What do you
no.
mean? What do you mean?
Asking the same questions multiple times, and then Cat Williams is getting irritated. You can tell when Cat Williams is getting irritated, he will take a sip of his drink and then he'll look at him.
And then his
Yeah.
hairline starts sweating a little bit. Like
I mean, Cat was being gracious, and I think Cat also wants to
oh,
be on a
did we get
platform
into?
where
Oh, we did the Luda about Luda rapping, but yeah, that was about it.
that was about it. But I want to thank all of you guys for joining us tonight. Shar, running that mouth, Princess,
Well,
Vintage,
before we go, I just want to tell the
Robin.
people. Before we go, I wanted to tell y'all, I don't know if y'all into like readings and stuff like that, spiritual readings, but before the New Year's, I always like to have a reading like the beginning of the New Year's, and I had a reading with a gentleman on the YouTube by the name of the Baron. He has a channel, he has two channels actually. One channel is called The Baron and the other one is called True Spook TV. And this man is excellent day. You hear me? I mean, because I didn't want to tell him that I can see as well, because I just felt like his energy while I was watching his videos, and I was like, and I felt that he was like a real one. So I was like, let me just try him or whatever. And he was like spot on. I mean, down to the things that were in my house. He knew where stuff was at in my damn house. I also my reading should be up on his channel soon. Or maybe it's up already. I don't know. Y'all could go check out his channel. It's called The Baron on YouTube and True Spook TV. But definitely, if y'all into readings and if y'all get readings, definitely try him out. This man is the truth. He's real, and I know he's real because I'm real. So it takes one to know one, and I wouldn't go to because I can't even get readings from certain people because of their energy. But this man was on point, very much so, and he's a older one and very on point. So if y'all happen to want a reading for the New Year's or get some spiritual guidance, please definitely go check him out. And I think I'm going to do a review on my channel of my reading after he put it up, so I can put the link so y'all could go listen to my reading.
And y'all make sure y'all follow Mace at Mace with the Mess on Instagram, and also follow her on YouTube. Is it still Mace with the Mess on YouTube, or is it
Yes,
Mace?
it is.
Okay, Mace with the Mess on YouTube and on Instagram.
Yep, and you know I'm turning them hoes into housewives at Mace_cooks.
Okay, this topic was also brought up with Robin Williams and Cat Williams, saying that black. Well, I don't think we should compare ourselves to others. I think black culture is a little bit different than white culture. And Robin Williams, although he did the dress with in a put on a woman's dress or whatever, that was a one time thing for him, just like it was for a lot of other guys. For us, but for us, I feel like it's more of a humiliation type of thing.
Yeah,
For
but they
me,
know how. You know what it is. Yeah, it's a lot of white guys that do the dress things or whatever. But a lot of times that's their funny. That's
that's
their funny, and it's
white
not.
comedy is a lot different than
Yeah,
black
it is
comedy.
not necessarily our type of funny. And as far as what they say, like with the black stereotypes and how the black man is and the emasculation of black men, and this just goes back to slavery. That's why a lot of black men, people they worry about being gay and all this stuff. It's because of slavery. It's a lot of butt breaking and stuff that happened in slavery. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. I'm a man. You taking away I'm a man. You know what I'm saying? Thinking that makes them a man, but it really actuality it don't. But I think as a whole, I think it's like humiliating a black male to take him down a peg or two. Like, what
And
would you do for the Klondike bar? Like, what would you do for this Klondike bar?
and it's kind of being forced in there, and it's not really making sense. Cat Williams also um, talked about the dress wearing, and one of the actors he was talking about was Brandon T.
T. Jackson.
T. Jackson.
Brandon T. Jackson.
And Brandon T. Jackson did an interview years ago where he said that he regretted putting on that dress after the fact. He thought he was doing something that was going to help him in his career, but it ended up hurting him, and he regrets doing it. That's something that he talks about in
His career, because that's very true. Because Brandon T. Jackson was up and coming right before he did that Big Mama House. Too. Brandon T. Jackson was.
And I think that ruined his career.
He was becoming a household name. A lot of people, because he had the look.
He
had
did
that
the lottery ticket.
He could have been eventually the token. Like he could have moved on to those white boy movies and been the black token. He could have moved on to be a token.
He wasn't in nothing else after Big Mama's House too, was he?
He was in other stuff. He played the Centaur.
The Centaur on what?
And what is it? It's a movie about Poseidon. It's a movie. It's a sequel. There's a whole bunch of them. It's probably like 3 or 4 movies. I think he ended up playing the Centaur, but I don't know if that was before. I think it was after Big Mama House, before or during or whatever. But he was a very sought after up and coming actor. Mm-hmm. It was like the Michael B. Jordan. He was like that. Like it was like coming up like Brandon T. Jackson. Brandon T. Google that movie that he played. He played the Centaur.
Now he's like swollen up in the face. You know,
he said that he's been through it with his baby mother. They gave him the package with a crazy baby mother. He said he got the package.
After the package is to get a nice, quiet baby mother. A nice, quiet, light skin. That's what he said the package was. It's a light skin, quiet.
That don't do interviews. They didn't say they was quiet. He said they don't do interviews. Now they probably loud at home, but they just quiet in public. They know how to conduct themselves. He has a charm school, like a charm school woman. Like you know how to conduct yourself in public. We know how to eat with certain fork.
Yeah, I will say that. Yeah, definitely. There's more homophobia in the black community.
Yeah, of course.
I don't think that's a secret.
Of course, because even with the college situation, like like the white boys in college, they play those funny games.
And they do a lot of weird stuff. Like they do a lot of weird stuff.
Licking each other butts and doing all that type stuff.
I remember in college,
black people don't do it.
We was me and my friend, we were outside. It was nighttime. We were outside the apartments, and we saw a whole bunch of white naked dudes running down the street like they were a part of a fraternity, and I guess they were pledging or something. They were all running naked down the street. I was like, that's weird. that was the kind of stuff you'll see on a college campus.
Jackass, like you ever watched the show Jackass? They do like grabbing each other by the testicles.
It's not a big deal, but if it was a bunch of naked black men running down the street like that, no. So yeah. It just is what it is sometimes, and
yeah, but people have to do it. Yeah, it is.
It's more homophobia in the black community. It is, but we are gonna wrap things up for now, and then we're gonna pick back up later on. Y'all make sure y'all follow Mace at Mace with the Mess on Instagram. Follow me and on YouTube, and follow me also on Shady Room on IG. Mace, do you have anything else to say before we close things out?
Just like to thank the people for hanging out with us on this Sunday. Happy New Year's again. I wish everybody have a beautiful and prosperous New Year, and enjoy, the rest of your week.
Yes, enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you for joining us, and y'all have a good one. Good night, y'all.